Envision your space and your life and your business in 10 years from now. That big bird's eye view, that's CEO mindset. Not what looks good on Instagram, not what someone else is doing and you feel jealous about. What do you want? What really lights you up?
All right. I'm Rebecca Hay, and I've built a successful interior design business by trial and error, podcasts, online courses, and so many freaking books. Over the last decade, I've grown from an insecure student to having false starts to careers, and now I'm finally in the place where I want to be. Throughout my journey, it's been pretty obvious that I'm passionate about business and helping other entrepreneurs do the same. Each week, I'll share tangible takeaways from my own experience and the experiences of other badass women to help you build your confidence and change your business.
Hey, it's Rebecca, and you are listening to Resilient by Design. So, when I first started hearing people talk about scaling, I'll be honest, it totally freaked me out. We're talking about that today, by the way, scaling. To me, scaling meant going big, hiring this massive team, completely stepping away from what I loved doing. And I remember thinking, no, thanks. I'm not sure that's what I signed up for. I didn't start my design firm to stop designing. I didn't want to become a full-time manager or lose touch with my projects and my clients. I loved the creative work. I loved the relationships, and the thought of losing control of all that was terrifying. And so if that sounds familiar to you, if you've ever thought scaling means losing the business you love, I want you to know that doesn't have to be true. Scaling is so personal. It looks completely different for every designer and every entrepreneur. And today I'm going to walk you through what it actually looks like, the mindset shift that I had to make to get here. And I'm going to give you some journaling prompts to help you start planning your next year with actual clarity instead of just chaos. So let's start thinking more like a CEO. In my early years, I thought like a designer. My brain was always in project mode, right? I'd wake up in the middle of the night thinking about selections, where I needed to go. Did I pick the right finish? Was that the right size sofa for the room? You know what I'm talking about. And so I was always thinking about the project. How do I get the presentation done? How do I finish this project on time? How do I keep the client happy? Oh my God, they sent an email. Are they upset with me? Like, oh my God, swirling. And listen, there's nothing wrong with that. When you care and you're a creative, I get that. But if you only think like a designer, you're going to stay stuck in the day-to-day. You're always reacting. You're always putting out fires. You're always pushing that boulder up the hill and wondering maybe why you're so dang exhausted. But the CEO asks a totally different question. The CEO asks, how do I build a business that actually works for me? And by that, I mean a business that gives you the freedom that you want, the profit that you need, and the creative energy that you deserve. The CEO mindset zooms way out and looks at the bigger picture. So I'm going to give you a real example. A few years ago, I took this amazing trip to Europe with my family. We went to Krakow, Poland. That's where my in-laws are from. My husband was actually born there. And I was actually able to enjoy myself. I actually turned airplane mode on for the entire trip. I know, crazy, right? I was not checking my phone every 5 minutes. I wasn't stressing about what was happening back at the office. I wasn't fielding client emergencies, checking in to make sure that the order got placed, making sure that my team had replied to a client email. I was sitting at a coffee shop in downtown Krakow, enjoying the view, watching my daughter dance and spin in circles. Why? Because I built the systems. I invested in my team and I set up processes that meant the business could run without me micromanaging every single thing. I was able to breathe, take a vacation, live a little. But that didn't happen overnight. And I know you know that. It happened because I finally started acting like the CEO of my business. Yes, I got the processes, but it's more than just having process. And that only happened when I stepped back from just being the designer in it all the time. It breaks my heart when I hear designers, especially those who are in power of process, saying, well, I'm going to be in Europe, or I'm taking the month to go to Greece, or we're going to be in Portugal for a few weeks, but like, I can't, I'm going to have to be checking in because the renovation's still going on. Da, da. That kind of breaks my heart because I'm like, you're going to travel all that way, spend all that money to be immersed in this other culture, but you're not going to be immersed because you're going to be constantly thinking about home. Here's the truth that I wish somebody had told me a little bit earlier. Scaling is not a one size fits all. And if you've taken POP, you know I say all the time, there's no one size fits all to running a design business. Well, this applies to scaling it as well. There's no rule book that says you have to scale a certain way. Just look at all the different examples that exist out there. Some designers scale by keeping things lean, small team, premium fees, highly selective projects. They take on very few clients, but each project is a masterwork. Masterwork is a masterpiece. Each project is a masterpiece. It's crazy profitable and totally aligned with what they want to do. Other designers love the idea of a big studio and having a team to celebrate the wins with and to collaborate and come up with ideas with and to go for lunches and to travel with, right? There's multiple designers on the team, probably at varying levels. There's the junior, there's the senior, project managers even, maybe an operations person, an office person, the whole 9 yards. And you know what? Both are completely valid. There's no right or wrong answer here. Scaling just means creating a business that supports your goals instead of one that drains the frickin' life out of you, right? Can I get a hell yes? Preach. And that's why it's so important to stop and really ask yourself, what do I actually really want my business to look like? And that's why I love visualization exercises. And that's why in the very early module of Power of Process, if you've taken it, you know I have that whole vision exercise. That's that envision your space and your life and your business in 10 years from now. That big bird's eye view, that's CEO mindset shit. Not what looks good on Instagram, not what someone else is doing and you feel jealous about. What do you want? What really lights you up? Okay, so I want you to do something with me right now. And I realize if you're driving, this might be hard. So you might want to like save this episode, download it, and come back to it. But if you're not driving or walking the dog or doing dishes or something that's multitasking, grab a notebook. And if you're doing one of those things, make a mental note just to come back. Or you could also even pause this episode and come back. Here are the questions that I ask myself every single year. And this is a great time of year to do it. I usually do it around this time. So they help me to zoom out and stop reacting to everything. It's usually about October, November, where I'm like, okay, whoa, Rebecca, like a new year's coming. Like, let's get ready. Like, what do I see for it? And if I don't take that time, I feel like I'm just thrown or catapulted into the next year running on autopilot all over again. And before I know it, it's like June, July, and I'm thinking, whoa, what happened? So I really encourage you to do this work. So remember, though, there are no right or wrong answers. This is about you and your vision, and that can also shift, as it has for me. So let's do this together. Are you ready? We're going to zoom out, and you are going to start leading your business with actual intention. Here are the questions. Question number 1, if you could wave a magic wand, what would your business look like 1 year from today? And I want you to write it down without editing yourself. Team size, revenue, money in the bank, types of clients that you're working with. How does your day feel? All of it, just brain dump. Do not edit, do not judge yourself. Question number 2. Question number 2. What do you actually want more of? Is it time? Is it freedom? Profit? Bigger, better projects? More decorating? A new build? Write down the first 3 things that pop into your head. Go. Question number 3. Where are you still operating as the designer instead of the CEO? List 3 things that you're doing right now that you know, could be handed off to someone else or potentially streamlined with a better system. And lastly, Second, lastly, question number 4. What's one thing that you want to stop doing next year? Maybe it's a type of project that drains you. Maybe it's a task you absolutely hate. Maybe it's even a habit, like answering client texts at 9 o'clock at night, or just reading them and sweating about it all night long until you reply the next day. Just saying, some of us have done that. Maybe it's weekend work. What do you want to stop? And now, lastly and finally, question number 5. If you had to pick just one bold, exciting, slightly scary goal for the next 12 months, what would it be? The thing that makes your heart beat a little faster when you think about it. If you even jotted down one or two of those answers, or at least your brain has started thinking, whoa, maybe you pause this while you're driving and you're thinking, um, you already have the beginning of a roadmap for your next year. And that's how scaling begins, by getting clear on what you want, not what Instagram tells you that you're supposed to want. So, along with that visioning work, because you guys know I love a good vision, I want to share a few key shifts that really unlocked growth for me, because knowing what you want is step 1, but you also need to know how to start moving toward it. So, first of all, pricing with confidence. I moved from hourly billing to fixed fee pricing, and oh my God, it was terrifying, but also so exciting. But it completely changed my bottom line. It also gave me so much more confidence. Charging confidently meant I could do fewer projects, but way better projects with clients that were so much more trusting. And honestly, they were just better. That was the first thing for me. The second thing was saying no to projects to protect my capacity, saying no. This one's really hard, especially when you're still building and you have a money scarcity mindset. But saying no to projects that weren't aligned created space for the clients and the work that I actually wanted. Saying no to projects that were just too small, or the style wasn't really there, or fill in the blank. You cannot say yes to everything and expect to grow the business you actually want. Sure, will there be slow times when you just got to say yes because you got to put food on the table? Sure. But there'll be other times you're like, I really love the money, but like, oh, I really don't want to do that project. You got to trust your gut. And then third, vision and planning, guys. Every year around this time, and I will not lie, it usually takes like a few months for me, because like I got other shit going on. I got a business to run. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to vision today. And it's like, oh, yep, nope, got to go record a podcast. Or, okay, got to go to that meeting, got to pick up the kids. Okay, we'll continue the visioning next week. You know what I mean? But every year around this time, I zoom way out and I ask myself, and I'm actually doing this right now, which is so funny that this is perfect timing for me to record this podcast. What do I want my business to look like next year? Do I want more time for myself? Do I want more profit? Do I want a bigger team? Do I want different types of projects? Do I want to take Fridays off? Do I want to take the summer off? Scaling is about aligning those goals with how you actually want to live and work, not how you think you're supposed to work. So here's the thing though, dreaming for some of us is very hard, but for some of us, it's also quite easy, right? Sure, I got lots of ideas. Writing down the goals is step 1, and it's important. But the hard part sometimes is actually making it happen, right? Actually doing the thing and reminding yourself that you said you wanted to do the thing before you got distracted and went off and did the other thing. So, to be really honest with you, I have not always done this alone. Every single time that I invested in mentorship, or joined a mastermind, or worked with a coach, or partnered with a designer bestie, I made decisions faster. I would stop second guessing myself so much. And I stayed aligned with my vision instead of getting distracted by every shiny object that came my way, because they would remind me, Rebecca, in December you said this. How's that going? What happened to that? And you're like, oh yeah, I did say that. Guess that wasn't really important, or something else just took over. Having mentorship isn't about someone telling you there's one right way to do things. It's about having guidance. And truthfully, the accountability is everything. And it's accountability in the sense of like, no one's going to make you do the thing, but they're there to hold up a mirror and say, oh, you said you were going to do this thing. It's funny. Right now, I'm doing a challenge that I've set for myself I'm recording this during October, the month of October. And the challenge is movement that I've set. I want to move 30 hours in a month, which for many of you, that's kind of a joke because you exercise every day, but I don't. And so for me to do more or less an hour a day is very challenging to find the time between work and kids and all the activities and everything. And so I've been put as part of the coaching group I'm in, they've put me with an accountability partner, and she has a similar goal. And we message each other every morning and every night. And by golly, if that hasn't been the kick in my butt I needed, because like, let's be honest, day one, I did 30 minutes, day two, nothing. And when she messaged me and was like, I did Pilates, what did you do? And I'm like, oh, nothing. The next day, I'm like, I can't go back to her and say I did nothing again. I got to get that walk in. And like today, I'm like, I got to record this podcast and then I got to go for an hour walk. I don't even know if I have time to do that before picking up the kids from school, but I'm going to make it happen. Accountability is everything. And the community, having those people there who are cheering you on and helping you figure it out along the way, that is so powerful for business and in life. So to wrap up today, scaling doesn't mean handing your business over to someone else. It doesn't mean building something that you don't want. It doesn't mean, corporate culture, but it does mean stepping into a CEO mindset, defining what growth actually looks like for you and planning really intentionally, just instead of winging it and like kind of hoping for the best and hoping that the next big project comes your way and all the things. So if you're ready to make the shift and you're ready to step into the CEO role and scale in a way that feels aligned with your actual goals and your actual life, that's exactly what I want to help designers do inside my new mastermind. And if you're ready for clarity, you want accountability, and you want to design that business that's going to support your life in the long term, you got to join my mastermind. So I already gave you the details. They're in the show notes. Just go to RebeccaHay.com/mastermind. But in the meantime, and maybe you're not ready, and that's okay, I want you to keep doing the journaling. Go back, listen to this episode, journal out your answers to those 5 questions. Revisit them this week if you did it. Because the sooner you get clear on your vision, the sooner you can actually start to build it. All right. I hope you enjoyed that episode. If you are enjoying this podcast, I would so love it if you could leave me a review, Spotify or iTunes. Leave us a nice glowing review, a 5-star review. We'll give you a shout out. I really appreciate it when you do take the time. That's what makes this podcast grow and gets it in front of other people so that we can help more and more beautiful business owners. All right. That's it. I'll see you soon.